Welcome, it's the Cory Show here on the BWC Network. Filling in for Ryan today because he is currently, may not be in Green Bay yet, but he is going up to Green Bay to watch the Packers in Lambeau take on the Buccaneers. I'd say I'm jealous, but I'm going in a few weeks to watch him face the Raiders, but hopefully we'll get some good insight from him about the game since he's actually going to be at it. So, filling in for him, I haven't been on in a few weeks. He's been filling in for me since I've been busy, and now it's my turn. We'll try, hopefully, together to do a little talking sports in a week or so. But anyway, me talking about the storylines and, in our regular three segment format for the NFL. First, storylines, let's talk a little Michael Vick and Jeremy Maclin. This just was reported a few minutes ago. Jeremy Maclin and Michael Vick both ruled out for this Giants game. And, the Eagles, I think in my mind, they're already done. They lost to the Cardinals last week. I believe they're 3-6. Yeah, they're 3-6. I mean, they're done. They have no chance to catch up to the Cowboys or Giants. And this game, even if they do win this game, Vick looks pretty banged up. Who never knows if he'll be able to play again this season. And to be honest, I wouldn't, because I think they're done. I don't think they're going to be able to beat the Giants even with Vick. Because the Giants bring a pass rush like crazy, so he's going to get sacked probably 5-6 times if he would have played in this game. They don't have enough talent yet. They didn't have enough time to practice to be able to be this dream team that Vince Young dubbed them to be. So, this year they're done. Next year, I think they got a great chance when they actually get some practice time, able to work together and play as a football team. And hopefully Nnamdi Asomugha can get used to this stupid system with playing the zone. Excuse me, with playing the zone, and hopefully they can get something done. But, Macklin, he's out for this game also. He's been battling an illness for a while now. Really, the Eagles are done. Andy Reid doesn't even know which quarterback he was going to go with. At this moment, I'd go with Kafka because Vince Young's a joke. And Kafka looks like he has some promise because in that Atlanta game, he looked pretty strong a few weeks ago. And really, that's it. You can't say much about it, but the Eagles are done. Mike Vick didn't have his MVP season like many people thought he would. Last year, great year, but this year, not enough time. Andy Reid threw too many players together, and it's just not going to work out, and he'll probably be fired by the end of the year. Now, this next topic, I have a feeling that a lot of people will disagree with me on, or maybe you won't, I don't know. Ryan and I have discussed so much about how we don't think Tim Tebow will be able to perform in this league. Now, I know he's won, I think, 3 or 4 games now. People a few weeks ago when he lost to, sorry, I'd write this down. I think they lost to the Lions, talking about, Tebow sucks, on the message boards on ESPN, Tebow sucks. Everyone's better than Tebow. He can't play. Now, all of a sudden, they beat the Jets and he's Mr. Hotshit. It's hilarious. All these comments are like, oh my god, Tebow's leading his team. He's so great. Hold on a second, Tebow Maniacs. Just hold on a minute. I've been saying from the beginning, I don't have a problem with Tim Tebow at all. I don't dislike him as a person. I just don't think he'll be able to play in this league. I'm going to look at the teams he's faced and give you some stats. I'm not a huge stats guy, but, stats usually do prove a lot of points. And my point is that Tim Tebow, we've talked about before, Ryan has said if you keep, you run the option, you keep his level of play, to here, and you give him a good cushion, he'll perform good. But let's just look at the teams he's faced and look at his completion percentage this year. All right. In the Jets game, threw for 104 yards, but 9 for 20, so that's a little below 50%, which is, if you're an elite quarterback in this league, and I know this is his first year starting, but still, you're probably mid-level quarterbacks, or at least kind of upper echelon, like Mark Sanchez, you have to throw 55-60%, and then your league guys throw from anywhere 60 to maybe 70%. I'd have to calculate that. But like Aaron Rodgers is probably throwing somewhere up there because he's playing phenomenal, and I'll get to him in a little bit. But Tebow, that's a win. But really, the Jets, I know they have Darrelle Revis, and that's going to take out their best receiver. But really, they run the ball. The Broncos, I believe, lead the league, in rushing. So, what do you have to say about that? He's not going to throw the ball a whole lot. and 9 of 20 is not that good. And I didn't get to watch many highlights of this game, but from what I've seen before in his other games, his accuracy is terrible. He misses wide open players like crazy. I'm surprised his receivers aren't yelling at him every other down. Another game, his first start this year was against the Dolphins. He had that comeback win. He played like crap for all 3 quarters, and then pulled off this miracle win versus a really crappy Dolphins team. But he went 13 for 27. That's god awful. That's below 50% again. Or actually, no, I'm sorry, that is 50%. 172 yards, 1 touchdown, and sorry, that's the Lions game. I can't read. I'm sorry about that, guys. He threw for 161 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's good. That's against a crappy Dolphins defense, with the exception of good pass rusher and Cameron Wake. 18 of 39, the Lions game, which they lost. He only threw for 172 yards and then a touchdown, a pick. Game versus the Raiders, he threw 2 touchdowns, which is kind of surprising because that Raiders defense plays really good, but 10 for 21. And then the game versus the Chiefs, that was so terrible like 2 weeks ago. 2 for 8. I mean, I'm just saying right here, if you're going to have your franchise quarterback be Tim Tebow, I understand you're going to limit his throws, but 2 for 8, he passes the ball 8 times. Are you kidding me? That's terrible. If you're going to be a good quarterback in this league, you have to throw the ball at least 30 times a game, even 35. You can't expect to win a game by throwing the ball 8 times. I don't care how good your running game is. Most of the time, your running game will be able to be shut down. You have to be at least kind of balanced. The Packers, for example, James Starks and Ryan Grant, they complement each other very great. Starks picks up enough yards to be able to keep the offense moving. He's not an Adrian Peterson where every play it's, oh crap, he's getting the ball, he's going to probably score. That's what Aaron's job is. That's why his loads of receivers do all the work. He's going to pass the ball more, but they at least keep a good amount of balance so that teams won't be able to figure out all the time what they're going to do. And that's completely opposite with the Broncos, at least especially for that game. They ran the ball way too much. I calculated his percentage of these 5 games he's played this year. 45% completion percentage. That's not very good. You need to do better than that, Timmy. If he completes a few more of those passes, he'd be at 50%, which is respectable, I guess, for his first year starting. But, like I've said before, Tim Tebow, I don't think he'll be able to play great in this league. And I agree with all the people who say the Jets were fake this year. I kind of knew going in they're going to get older. Weren't going to perform as best. I'm kind of surprised that they're doing at least this bad. I think they're only like 5-4, 5-5, something like that. But Mark Sanchez has regressed a bit. So, really, when you look at it, Tim Tebow, he'll get better later on and on. Even if he had a star receiver, I don't think he's performing that great. I don't mind having my quarterback have mobility. The Packers, I like it when Aaron Rodgers runs because he's not going to do it all the time, but he's very athletic, and he can usually pick up a first down. I don't mind, but he has the arm to back it up at least. Now, granted, he does have a million options to throw to, but at least he can capitalize on his team, on his situation. If he didn't, then that'd be a different story. Tom Brady, he doesn't have mobility, but at least he has his arm to back him up. Michael Vick, he's not the most accurate quarterback in this league because he runs around a lot, but at least he'll get you some yards and some playmaking ability. And his accuracy shot up last year, and this year it's gone down a bit, but he's been battling so many more injuries because his offensive line can't protect him, and of course he scrambles like crazy. But Tebow, I'm not trying to be hard on the man or anything. Well, I mean, maybe a little. But just the fans who are stupid in Denver going, oh, he's just this great player. And, I don't mind embracing a new guy. I don't care about that. You're a fan, like your quarterback. I don't care. But don't think he's just this stud player. He's not. I like it's always good to have the ability to perform in the clutch. I understand that, but the teams he's faced have been really bad. I mean, the Jets are okay. Dolphins are garbage. Lions are a good team. They've been battling this past couple weeks. They've lost some games. The Raiders are alright. The Chiefs suck. So, I mean, really, the balance has been the teams have been okay. I want him to face an elite team and just get pummeled like he did in that, Detroit game. because then maybe fans will realize, hey, maybe this guy isn't what we thought he was. If he turns out to be something different, I'll be very surprised, and I'll be the first one to admit I'm sorry. But I'm just saying that Tim Tebow will not be able to perform at a high level. So that's your storylines for this week 11. Coming up next, I'm going to break down the bad games of this week, and boy, do we have a lot of them. It's not necessarily, all of them are that bad, but you just have to pick the 4 or 5 really games you were really looking forward to in the week, and some of these matchups are just god-awful. But we'll get to that next, coming up here on the Cory Bender Show, and it's the BWC Network.